It's the Trick or Treat Treasure Team Collab. And it's hosted by Debbie with Project 39 mini albums. Lots of collaborators are joining in. We're going to be sharing some Halloween inspiration every Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern for the next 4 weeks. Welcome back, everyone. So I am joining the Trick or Treat Treasure Team Collab. This is just a crafty collab video. This is week 3, so it's junk journals and regular journals for this week. Welcome back, everyone. So I'm joining in on the Trick or Treat Treasure Team Collab. It's hosted by Debbie, who's Project 39 mini albums. There's an entire playlist of a ton of collaborators that have joined in. I'll link that playlist down below. So we are in week 3, which is junk journals or regular journals. I've taken out this Simple Stories, Simple Vintage, October 31st. It was a collection from 2022. You can see there the date. I just had a few sheets I had picked up, I think from scrapbook.com. Today I'm going to be making an easy flow journal. It's an Unbound journal. I've got 8 to 10 sheets of 8.5 by 11 paper. You could use copy weight. Mine is about 32 pound. I also have approximately 30 inches of ribbon or fabric or seam binding that I'll be using for this. And then I have my paper, including some cut aparts here. So these were the items or the pages that I had picked up. Again, I'm assuming scrapbook.com had a sale on Simple Stories, and so I had picked up a few sheets. I had these in my stash from 2022. I had not used them, so I thought these would be great. These little cut aparts would be really fantastic. I love both of the sides on each of these papers. I really like this pattern right here. All of this text sort of going in all different directions. Look at these fun stars. And each of the patterns has like a grunge kind of like layered effect look. So you've got like layers upon layers of different patterns and text and overlays, and it's just really fun, really fun. And so this one again is one from 2022, so it's not brand new. It's been around for a while. Hopefully you can find it if it's something that you want. But I had just purchased a few of the sheets as well as a couple of the cut aparts, just enough to make a couple of projects, just to kind of play with it when it did come out. I'm assuming I purchased it afterwards, but again, this was Simple Vintage. October 31st is the collection by Simple Stories. So for today's project, you really only need one sheet of 12 by 12. So this is the main sheet that I'll be using for my journal cover. And you see here, I like both of these sides. I will use some of the additional cut aparts and things to embellish, and you can definitely include more than just the one sheet. You really can make this totally your own. But I'm definitely going to cut up some of these cut aparts and use them, especially some of these decorative elements. They've done all the layering for you, make it so easy to decorate. So we're going to cut down this one sheet of 12 by 12 paper. So what you'll do is go ahead and rotate it one time to where the branding strip is going to be to the side. And that's basically the top is to the side. Okay, so just in case the branding strip is on a different side of your paper, you're going to want to take that off and then cut it down at 9 inches on the 12-inch side. So you'll end up with a pattern paper that is 9 inches high by 12 inches wide. Then just fold it in half. This is so super easy. I've done a tutorial on this before. I can link it down below. But then I'm going to go ahead and corner around my 2 corners that are outside. And this is totally optional. I'm doing a 1/2 inch corner round right here, just using the We Are Memory Keepers corner chomper. So I'm just kind of corner rounding the 2 outside corners. That's just to make it really, sort of easy to use this little journal. No like little points on the ends. Now then we're going to go ahead and fold all of our sheets of copy paper. And this is such an easy project. You don't have to be super meticulous or super precise. I'm just sort of folding it. I'm using a bone folder to enforce it. And even though all of my edges don't align, you could absolutely cut them down and make them align with just a paper trimmer. I am not worried about that because this is a totally like flow journal, really super easy. And so then we're going to go ahead and cut down our actual fiber here. So I've got just some of this little fabric. It's like a seam binding kind of fabric, like a silly silk. And so I'm going to go ahead and cut that down, and you're going to want 3 sides of the length of the journal. So that's about how long you want. And then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and wrap this around, starting from the inside, kind of wrap it around on the outside. And then I am going to tie a little bow, just a little whimsical bow on the outside towards the top. This is such a super easy process. This was inspired by my friend Toby, who's Bitty Penny. I'll link her YouTube channel down below. She's done these flow journals before. These are so easy. And even hers are more elaborate than this, but this was just such a fun idea. And I thought this was so easy. You don't have to actually bind your journal. And what I love about it is that you can add in more papers afterwards. If you mess up on a page, you just take it out. It's so easy. So that is the base of our journal here. Now I am going to take this little scrap and I'm going to cut it down to 5 1/4 so I can make a little pocket. So again, I'm going to go ahead and cut it on the longer edge, and I'm going to cut it at 5 1/4. And you could use any scrap, any piece of paper. You could use vellum, scrap cardstock, pretty much whatever you have. I'm going to take off that branding strip, and here is my actual pocket. Now, because I had corner rounded the cover, I'm going to go ahead and corner round that one corner that correlates with that little corner there, using that 1/2 inch corner rounder as well. I am going to take a circle punch that I have in my stash. It really doesn't matter what size you use. And I'm going to just do a little partial notch here right towards the top, which will show you like a little thumb notch where that pocket kind of, is. And so then what we'll do is we're going to hold our thumb where that notch is at and then add glue on the other 3 sides. So the left, the right, and then the bottom. But again, it's easiest if you just hold your finger where the notch is and then glue on the other sides. And then we'll go ahead and glue down that pocket, and I will let this dry, and I will also decorate off camera, and I'll come back for a full recap in just a second. So stay tuned for that recap. Okay, so to recap, this was the Trick or Treat Treasure Team collab. This week was junk journals or regular journals. I did an Easy Flow Unbound journal today. I did go in and I did some distressing with some black soot from Ranger, Tim Holtz. And so I did do a little bit of distressing on some of the sides. I tore some of the sides as well of the papers. I just layered up some of the cut aparts and little scrap pieces on top of the front of my journal. I did do a little bit of distressing around the edges of the journal as well, just to kind of make it fun. Added my little label on the back. And then on the inside, I did do a little distressing on some of the pages. I thought it just made it really fun and just perfectly, Halloweenish. And so I did add a little bit of a label there, and then I also did a little distressing on some of the cut aparts and added a few cut aparts inside of the pocket. So these are going to be great. I could go back in, I could add a little photo, I could add some journaling, just pretty much whatever I wanted. I could use them to decorate the pages. The sky's the limit with this project. You could add a second pocket in the back or like a belly band. You've got lots of options with this little journal. So again, this was our very, very easy little Easy Flow Unbound journal. Super, super easy. Again, I have a previous tutorial for this one where I go a little slower and show a little bit more of the cutting and things and decorating. I will link that video down below. I love that you can take out the pages, you can add additional pages. So again, today's project was an Easy Flow Unbound journal using the Simple Stories Simple Vintage October 31st collection from 2022. And again, this was part of the week 3, which is junk journals or regular journals for the Trick or Treat Treasure Team collab. And I will link that playlist to where you can get everybody's video down in the description box below. Make sure you check it out, or check out that hashtag Trick or Treat Treasure to get the inspiration from the team, the collaboration team this month. We're having a video every Saturday. Happy crafting.